I'm going to give the opening remarks. Just shortly, we get to know each other as we begin our AGM this year. A very important one, because there are so many things that we are also celebrating as the Association of Sisterhoods of Kenya. Dear sisters, members of the AOSK family, it is with deep gratitude to God and great joy that I welcome you all to the AOSK General Assembly 2026. I thank you for making time to gather here, united in the spirit of sisterhood and our shared mission at 64. AOSK today is 64 years old. Let's clap for ourselves. We gathered this year under inspiring theme, walking together in hope, strengthening mission, sustainability, and resilience for AOSK future. As I entered this hall, I was so captured by that. The aspect of sustainability is there for us. This theme invites us to renew our confidence in God's providence, to strengthen our shared mission, and to recommit ourselves to journey together as consecrated women rooted in faith, courage, and hope. We can no longer work as individuals. We can only make greater impact in our society when we walk together. In Romans chapter 15, verses 13, it says, "May the God of hope fill you with the joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." In a world marked by uncertainty, rapid change, social inequality, environmental distress, and shifting realities within the church and society, we are called to remain anchored in hope, not a passive optimism, but as an active, courageous, and faith-filled commitment to the mission entrusted to us by Christ and the church. As AOSK, we gather not merely to reflect on our journey, but to discern together the path ahead. And that is why it's very, very crucial when we invite, we really desire so much that our major superiors come together so that you bring us diverse insights that can help us chart the way forward for the Association of Sisterhoods of Kenya, and so that as sisters we can make greater impact in the society where we live. This assembly is a sacred moment of encounter, listening, accountability, and renewal. It is an opportunity to celebrate the gift of consecrated life, to review our shared mission, and to ask how we can remain relevant, resilient, and prophetic in responding to the needs of our time, which are really complex. This year, our reflection is shaped by three critical areas of focus that speak directly to the future of the Association of Sisterhoods of Kenya and the wider mission of women religious in the church and in the society. First, we are called to reflect on strengthening the prophetic voice of Catholic sisters as agents of social transformation. Each of your congregations, you are dealing with one or two things trying to alleviate poverty, bring about change in the society. Throughout history, let us remember, dear sisters, that Catholic sisters have stood at the front lines of service, compassion, justice, education, health care, peace building, and advocacy for the poor and the marginalized. I sometimes look around and see how many people are languishing in poverty, and especially women and young girls. We are women religious. If there has to be transformation for these people, it has to start with us. Today, the prophetic voice remains urgently needed. We are challenged to continue speaking truth, but we speak truth in love as well. Defending human dignity, advocating for justice, and addressing the social realities that affect our communities, whether poverty, inequality, violence that we've seen in the society of all kinds, ecological degradation, or the erosion of moral and spiritual values. There was a clip that went viral. One of the politicians, spoke very powerful words, talking about how we are forming our children today. And he said very clearly that we've left the social media to form our children. We've left the TV and all these other things to form our people. What can we do together as women religious to really take care of that foundation of our young people so that they grow up with values, they grow up knowing what is expected of them. Our witness must remain visible, credible, and courageous, but also rooted in the gospel and attentive to the cries of God's people. Throughout history, God has always heard the cry of the poor. I remember the episode in the Old Testament when the people of Israel cried to God, and God told Moses, I have heard the cries of my people, and I have come down to save them. What kind of a cry are we hearing as women religious that we are called very urgently to address in our mission? The second critical point, we turn our attention to formation for mission in the 21st century. The future of religious life in a changing world depends on the formation and ongoing formation. These are the formation. We cannot overemphasize formation. It's all that we need. The changing social, cultural, and technological and ecological landscape demands that our formation processes be dynamic, holistic, and mission-oriented. We must prepare women religious not only to preserve the richness of our charisms, but also to engage creatively and effectively with emerging realities. I want to believe, my dear sisters, that you know the complexity of the challenges that we go through in our congregations, in our society. How can we address this early enough information as we recruit these young girls and engage in formation that appeal not only to the brain but to the heart, so that we have people who are touched by the gospel values and they can go out there and represent us. They can go out there and defend the gospel of Christ. As I said, we must prepare women religious not only to preserve the richness of our charisms, but also to engage creatively and effectively with emerging realities. Formation and ongoing formation must nurture spiritual depth, emotional maturity, intellectual growth, cultural competence, pastoral sensitivity, and the capacity to serve in complex and rapidly evolving contexts of our time. If the future of religious life is to remain vibrant, transformative, and faithful faithfulness to our calling, then formation must remain at the heart of our priorities. The third point, we reflect on synodal leadership and collaborative governance. How do we govern in our congregations? Is it the one woman's work? Is it cooperative leadership? How do we do it? The church continues to invite us into a synodal way of being and walking together, listening deeply, discerning communally, and sharing responsibility for mission. For us as leaders in religious life, synodality is not simply a concept. It is a way of living and serving. It challenges us to foster participation, transparency, accountability, mutual respect, and shared ownership of mission at every level of our institutions and communities. Collaborative governance strengthens unity, builds trust, and enables us to respond more effectively to the pastoral and organizational demands of our time. And as AOSK, we are called to model leadership that is humble, inclusive, discerning, and mission-oriented. There has to be a paradigm shift in the way we do things. Dear sisters, these three areas of reflection are not separate from our theme. They are practical pathways through which we can walk together in hope and strengthen the sustainability and resilience of AOSK for the future. Hope is sustained when our prophetic voice remains alive. Hope is strengthened when formation prepares us for mission in a changing world. Hope becomes tangible when leadership is shared, accountable, and synodal. As we begin the General Assembly, I invite each one of us to participate with openness, honesty, and commitment. Let us listen to one another with respect. Let us engage our discussion with wisdom and courage. Let us allow the Holy Spirit to guide our discernment so that the decisions we make and the direction we take may serve not only our congregations, but also the church, the people of God, and the wider society. May this assembly renew our unity, deepen our vision, and strengthen our resolve to build an AOSK that is spiritually grounded, institutionally sustainable, and prophetically present in the world. We want AOSK to be felt wherever we are, for the good of the people we serve and for the good of the church. May we continue to walk together as sisters in hope, trusting that the God who has called us will remain faithful to his promise and will guide us into the future he has prepared for us. With these remarks, I warmly welcome you all to the AOSK General Assembly 2026, and I wish us all fruitful deliberations, meaningful encounters, and abundant grace throughout our time together. Thank you, and may God bless you all. I declare the AGM open.